Hey, Vsauce, XenoBits here. You know the old philosophical debate, what came first, the chicken or the egg? At face value, it seems pretty conclusive that the egg came first. After all, in order for a chicken to exist in the first place, it would have needed to hatch from an egg. Records show that eggs have existed far longer than chickens, so a more apt question would be, what came first? The egg-laying organism, or the egg? The chicken and egg question is normally just a fun thought experiment debated by intoxicated college students at 3 a.m., but let's seriously consider it for a second. What did come first? All of the things that have ever existed have an origin point, like this rock, or this book. Something has to come from something else, right? But that something also needed to come from something as well, and we can count all the somethings all the way back to the beginning of time before the first something became a thing, back when there was no thing. What exactly is an egg? Well, the term egg is actually fairly broad. It describes many different types of vessels that life can incubate and grow inside of. Scientists theorize that the first life found on Earth was in the form of ocean-dwelling creatures. When many of them would reproduce, the resulting eggs were soft and light. We still see this in creatures that live today like fish or frogs. But eventually, when life began to slowly make its way onto land, the eggs began to change. Eggs became tougher. Since they wouldn't constantly be surrounded by water, harder shells began taking shape in order to hold liquid and protect the eggs from their new, hostile environment. Conversely, human eggs stay within the body during their entire pregnancy or gestation. Humans may not lay their eggs, but a few mammals have been documented in doing so. 2 in particular are alive and thriving today. There's the commonly referenced duck-billed platypus, but the other animal might surprise you. Echidnas. These two are what we refer to as monotremes. They share many of the same characteristics as mammals, such as having hair and glands that produce milk. The major difference between mammals and monotremes is that monotremes have what is called a cloaca. A cloaca is an orifice typically present in birds and fish which excretes bodily waste as well as facilitates reproduction. Both the males and females have cloacas, and reproduction occurs through what is referred to as a cloaca kiss, where fluids are exchanged in a quick moment of contact. In the 2010 video game Xenoblade Chronicles, there's a race of beings that have both the qualities of a bird and of a human, the High Entia. This begs the question, do High Entia lay eggs? They're birds, aren't they? Nopon refer to Melia as such. They call her Bird Lady. They have feathered wings on their head, which don't seem to be vestigial. We've seen Tyrea use them to fly a great distance. They're mammals as well, and we've already established that mammals can lay eggs. So what's the deal? Well, we need to understand their biology. Luckily, High Entia genetics are fairly well documented in Xenoblade Chronicles. High Entia are able to reproduce via Homs or High Entia partners. Melia herself is a prime example of this. In fact, High Entia have done this for generations in an attempt to eradicate the Telethia gene. On Prison Island, we even get a glimpse of what ancient High Entia may have looked like. Bit by bit, they planned to dilute their genetics with Hom's DNA, and it was working. Melia, as well as the other half-Homs High Entia, do not and will not transform. With that being said, do High Entia have cloacas? While we can't be certain, the answer is likely no. I know. I'm sorry. In order for Homs and High Entia to be able to reproduce, their genetic structure and reproductive organs need to be compatible. Unless you want to make the argument that Homs have cloacas, in which case, yes, they would lay eggs. In the real world, for two different animals to be compatible, they typically need to come from the same genus. Mules are the most common hybrid animal in the world, being the result of a male donkey and a female horse. Mules are extremely useful in labor-intensive work since they're much stronger than donkeys, but not as large as horses. While mules are very practical hybrids, there have been many others created just because humans want to push the limits of what's possible. This is a liger, the offspring of a male lion and a female tiger. And this is a tigon, the offspring of a male tiger and a female lion. And this is a liger, the offspring of a male tiger and a female liger. While male hybrids are usually sterile, females on occasion are not. This allows for some extremely wacky crossbreeding. Many hybrids have birth defects, making their existences usually extremely painful and short, but luckily, some of them are able to live with little to no issues. It seems like half-homs High Entia lead extremely healthy lives. They actually live and breathe perfectly fine, just like their full-blooded counterparts on Bionis. Well, actually, the full-blooded High Entia don't breathe perfectly fine anymore. But even after we've learned so much in this video, there's a question that's still been nagging at me. All of this talk of human and bird anatomy only gets us so far. This next question could very well change how we view the entire Xenoblade franchise. If High Entia don't lay eggs, then do Machina? And as always, thanks for watching. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the video. I just want to say that in my effort to bring more merch to you all in my store, for April Fool's Day, I had a special design whipped up by the artist Elysium. It's fantastic, and it is Mwamban time. I believe this is the first ever Mwamba shirt. You can go get it right now. Link is in the description, and the storefront should also just be lined up underneath the video as well. We have it in several different styles, so if you don't want a t-shirt, well, maybe you can get it on a hoodie. Elysium did a fantastic job on this piece, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. For the next week, using the code FOOLS, you can get 15% off your entire order, so if you want any of the other wonderful shirts made by other artists I've worked with, well, you can do that too. I also want to give special thanks to my channel members, and a super special thanks to Play and Polygloom, who are my legendary Blade members. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!